So hey guys, welcome back to Aim High. I want to make this video. I gotta shout out David Wood. For those of you who are familiar with David Wood, he is basically an apologist, a Christian apologist, and he's been on YouTube for quite a bit. I can't even remember how long he's been on YouTube, but basically he deleted his whole catalog of videos, and he says that the reason why he's doing this is because YouTube has been flagging him. They've been demonetizing him. They've been restricting him. The algorithm has been working against him. And he just basically says, hey, look, man, I just got to break out of this. And he actually, basically shared a video going back a few weeks, probably a month now, in regards to like the whole scoop and his whole position. He did leave a few videos on his channel. I'm not sure if he left that video on or not, but he basically just declares basically to his audience that, look, I am stepping away from my YouTube channel. And this guy has like over 700,000 subscribers. Okay, he is building, I believe he's still working on building, I think, a website. So all his videos apparently are going to be uploaded to the new website and whatever else he desires or whatever else he has planned to do. So he did set things in order, but in terms of YouTube and the benefits of YouTube that he did receive for years and years and years, for him, he's like, oh man, I'm going to cut ties. He describes YouTube as this big leech that just sucks up all the and has like basically everybody on a string, so to speak. So for whatever reason, he felt convicted to leave his channel alone and basically do something else and go somewhere else in regards to his ministry. And he admitted that this is really, really risky. This is risky stuff, but he's believing that that God's going to bless him on this venture. This guy will battle Muslims. I think that's the crux of his ministry. He's really like an apologist, defending the faith as it relates to defending against the Muslims, Islam, and what they believe. So you'll have a multitude of debates on this channel, just going back and forth with Muslims and whatnot. And yeah, man, like really, really Acts 17. So I'm pretty sure, like, those of you who are watching this video will obviously know of Acts 17. That's his whole ministry there, and David Wood. So look, I assume that you guys, for the most part, have heard of him and know who he is. Now, many of you perhaps watched his video the other day, watched him actually delete his videos and whatnot, and asked yourself like questions that I asked myself, right? And I asked myself the same questions you asked, like, how about the people who have not been able to the people who may desire to share this word with their friends? How about the people who this channel has ministered to? Many of you may have asked questions like, is this even wise? This is like some really great stuff. At least leave your videos up. He is transferring the channel over to a friend of his, by the way. So the channel is still there. He didn't delete the channel, but the videos are all gone. So one may say, well, why did you delete the videos? Why not just leave the videos up? So this is just me. This is what I believe, okay? I believe that when God, and look, I can't speak for him, okay? He could only speak for himself. This is what I believe. And this is just not what I believe. I actually believe this is biblical. When God is calling you to step out and do something, whatever the instruction God is calling you to do, do it. It doesn't matter if it looks like it makes sense or not. Right off the bat. I'm like you. I'm looking at it and I'm saying to myself, what about the people who we could reach with these videos? What about the people that are being touched by these resources? And by the way, it's not like he deleted everything and he doesn't have it somewhere else. He does. But YouTube is, we all know YouTube is accessible, right? Like everybody is on YouTube. Why make it more difficult, right? And as I said, I agree. But if God, you understand, if God said something, And I can't say that God said anything. I'll just take um I'll just take his word for what it is, right? But if he believes that this is a move of God, that this is basically God in a way initiating him to or encouraging him or commanding him to step out and delete his whole catalog and start fresh somewhere else with no strings attached, in order that God may be able to be glorified in whatever arena and wherever network David Wood may have his resources in, then by all means, right? We don't know. But what I do know is that God loves when we forsake the much and we just give into the little, because he enjoys building the little. And it reminds me of Gideon, right? The judge Gideon, and he had an army of quite a few thousand, and God told him to bring that army down to 300. Many of you need to bring your army down to 300. Many of you have to stop depending on, you know, the glitz and the glamour and, you know, the numbers. I need to stop focusing on and thinking about the glitz and glamour and the numbers. And this is in regards to everything in life, not just in regards to ministry, but a lot of times we are afraid to step out because we are afraid of what we think we're losing, right? We have so much in our midst. You perhaps live in the most comfortable neighborhood and you don't want to move, because if you move out of that neighborhood, you feel like you're not going to get that happiness and that joy that you feel in that neighborhood. You're depending on that neighborhood. Some of you don't want to switch jobs, right? You're depending on that job to be all that you think it is. The job is taking care of you and providing for you well, but you know that God's probably saying something else to you, but you don't want to step out because you are afraid. Many of you are afraid of committing, right? Afraid of committing to your spouse, not your spouse, but your girlfriend or your boyfriend per se, because all that you hear about, you know, marriage are just like doom and gloom messages, and you are just afraid to step out in faith and trust God that He's going to keep you um, until death do you part. So we all have a variety of fears, whether it's ministry, whether it's life, work, family. We all have a variety of fears. The issue, though, with these fears is we got to see God in the midst of it. It doesn't matter how much you have. If God says let it go, man, and step out into what God is calling you to do, because you belong to Him. The problem is many of us believe that after giving our lives to Christ, our lives still belong to ourselves. And that is actually a deception from the wicked one. So shout out to my brother David Wood. I am praying for him. I'm praying for all that God is going to do for him and his family in his new journey. As I said, I was like many of you, I was kind of discouraged. I was like, it didn't really make a lot of sense to me. But when I stepped back, I said, you know what? This makes a whole lot of sense, because if it is God, it's going to definitely flourish and be all that God calls it to be. Anyways, guys, that's all I want to share with you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You already know. It's all love. Until next time, you already know. Peace.